What's the biggest hint you received but was totally clueless about? This reply is coming from Underwriting King. Helped a girl move into her new place and assemble the bed. We should test it out. Me bouncing up and down on it. Seems fine. Sorry, Caroline. The next reply is from Professor Doom. I had the cute shy girl tell me, wouldn't it be the craziest thing if we both just randomly went upstairs at this party and lost our virginity? Yeah, no one would believe it. And just let it sit there, thinking it was just a joke. Sorry, Erin. And the next reply is from No Decision 2098. One time I invited a guy over, lit candles, put on romantic music, and wore the cutest lingerie I owned. He sat down, looked around, and asked if I was having trouble with my electricity since I had so many candles lit. Truly Sherlock Holmes in the making. Next reply is coming from SHTODLAT. Girl in college grabbed my arm and told me to come to her room. I said I had some reading to do. Our next reply is from Prof. Jesus Fish. Freshman year of college, I was talking to this girl who lived like an hour and a half drive away. One weekend, I drove down by her to go to concert. Afterwards, we hung out in her apartment until like 2:30 in the morning when she tells me her roommate is out of town so I can spend the night. My response, I'm good to drive, and then I drove home. The next reply is from Duddy Ruxpin. Way back around 1991, long before cell phones were common, an important fact, I was in a toy store looking for a particular action figure. I asked a hot goth girl that worked there if they had it. She told me they typically get one per shipment and to call the store on the day of their shipment to see if they got one. We then spent the next 15 or so minutes chatting about comics and anime. As we were finally about to part ways, she says, if you call the store, you might not get me, so call me directly, and gave me her phone number. I found the action figure in a different store later that day, so I never called her. It was years later when it dawned on me, she can't check stock from her house. She didn't give me her number to check on the shipment. She gave me her number because she wanted me to call her. The next reply is from Karsa69420. Eating lunch with my friends. The girl I was sitting next to would have made a great enemies to lovers story. We hated each other the first 2 years of high school, but bonded over musical theater. As we ate, she held my hand. Like every time she wasn't eating, her hand went right back into mine. The whole meal. Someone had to see it happening. I never acted on it because she was super pretty and out of my league. A few years later, my grandmother ended up due at-home nurse care for her mom with MS. Turns out she talked about me all the time. I am not very smart. This next reply is coming from Rodrigo L. Back in high school, I wasn't popular by any measurable means, so I was gladly surprised when a girl I knew invited me to a party. When I arrived, their party was this girl and 2 other friends with their respective boyfriends. I thought that maybe the party wasn't a hit because there wasn't that many people the 2.5 hours we were there. They put a movie, made popcorn and some drinks. The details are kind of foggy now, but at some point she sat on my lap because the other chairs were too hard. After that, her friends said they had to go, leaving the girl and myself behind, alone in her apartment. Parents were away. I asked her if she needed help cleaning. She told me she was getting a bit tired and she could do with a massage. I said, oh, okay, I'll let you rest. Talk to you tomorrow, and left. The following week, she was kind of upset with me. It took me 7 years to understand what it all meant. Sometime later, 3 years later, we met up again, school reunion. Talked to her and confirmed what had happened. Wait, it gets worse. At the end of our reunion, she told me, it is never too late to fix mistakes. I smiled, said, yeah, if I had a time machine, right. Before getting in my car, driving off to home, parked the car, opened the door, and fucking got the fact that I blew up another chance. The next reply is from Noel697. Was walking with my dad in Walmart when I was about 17 and a group of girls walked by and one said, hey, rather flirtatiously and kind of looked me up and down, but I never went and talked to her or anything. A year later, I just finished up a basketball tournament and saw the same girl at this table in the lobby. She waved and smiled, and when I didn't wave, she waved again. I slowly looked behind me and turned back to her while she bust out laughing. I didn't talk to her that time either. The last one truly haunts me. And next reply is from WDH662. A girl and I had fooled around in my dorm room. She decided to spend the night. I got up to sleep in my chair because I was unsure if I should stay in my bed with her. She yelled at me. 19 years and 2 kids later, I think she likes me. But She Canadian. And the next reply is from Loki Lulaman. Spent all night chatting with a girl at a house party in my teens. We ended up crashing in the same room. She asked me, "Do you want to share the bed?" It was a single bed. I said, "Nah, I'll take the floor." I still facepalm every time I think of this. Fuck. I was such an oblivious idiot. Next reply is coming from Dabiga Dibula. Walking her home after a party, we were talking and laughing, and I made a joke about snoring, and she got serious and said, "You want to come find out if I snore?" And I made another dumb, dismissive joke like, "What? No way." Somehow ended up alone in my room that night, kicking myself. I really liked her too. Never got a second chance. I think I probably embarrassed her too. Next reply is coming from Demolition Boy 09. A girl literally wrote, "I love you" on a paper and gave it to me, and I thought she was pranking me. And the next reply is coming from Hoaxy Moore. In high school, a girl greeted me with a kiss on the lips every morning, several days in a row. The idea that she could be interested was so unimaginable to me that it only clicked like 10 years later. Yeah, building my self-confidence has required civil engineering level work.